MATC provides students the opportunity to explore interactive studies, events, and ideas within their program and the college. And today we'll talk about how the Carpentry program teaches on-the-job training, as well as the many resources MATC has with printing services. We've also got a special guest cooking something that will make us all stuffed. All this and more on MATC Now. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles, and we'll be viewing some programs and opportunities around the city with my co-host today, Mark Miling from MATC's Carpentry program. Mark, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, I'm entirely pleased to be here. Thanks.
All right. Tell us briefly about what your role here is on the campus with your program.
I'm a part-time instructor. I teach energy efficiency and residential construction at the South MATC campus.
Excellent. Thanks for providing that insight, and we'll be getting more into what you do and your focus here on our campus. But for now, I'm wondering if we can get an inside look at the printing services resource here at MATC's downtown campus. Our field correspondent, Torean Smith, is down there now. Torean, what's going on?
Thanks, James. I'm pretty sure you've seen the MATC Times all across the newsstands. But did you know that we actually print these right here in the downtown M building? When we come back, we'll learn more about this and what printing services have to offer.
All right, Torean, be sure to leave us a paper trail and we'll come back to you later. Exploration can help students figure out their interests, passions, and their strengths. Student producer Blue Thompson will show us a different world through the perspective of photography with instructor Timothy Abler.
Photography instructor Timothy is fairly new to MATC, but not new to the environment. With 43 years of teaching and even longer practicing photography, Timothy brings along with him a wealth of knowledge and a fresh new perspective to the students around him.
So my role here at MATC is to teach photography classes, and this is my first year here at MATC, and I'm teaching fundamentals of digital photography. And it's a beginning course, but what's wonderful about the course is that students are coming to this course from all levels. Beginners, a little bit of advanced work, some even have a business that they're starting to run. So really interesting group of students, and there's this interesting energy that they have and collaboration that they seem to enjoy. So it's a great little course. Basically the students are involved in learning the principles of photography. So you're talking about aperture, shutter speed, ISO, understanding composition, starting to pay more attention to lighting, and really subject matter, things that are important to them.
He explains some of the reasons behind his unwavering dedication to teaching.
So there are a number of things that often keep me coming back to the classroom, and that is ideas. And so the ideas that my students come up with are often similar to what I experienced as a student. And so what I try to do with that is ask them to sort of find their voice. I say, I recognize what you're saying, I recognize your idea, but what is it now that really motivates you, and what is this photograph supposed to be about? And so I encourage them, when they show me some work, I often would say to them, well, what are you going to do next as a photographer? This is really exciting what you're doing right now, but what have you learned from doing this? So I try to get students to understand that the student is their own best teacher.
Timothy emphasizes his commitment to teaching and his passion for photography. He hopes to leave a lasting impact on those he teaches, shaping their lives and inspiring them long after they leave the classroom.
I began to realize at a certain point that, well, this may not last forever, and how does one bow out gracefully from teaching? And the fact of the matter is, most teachers have a difficult time with that. I am a photographer. I do have a great interest in photography still. I'm very much involved in sort of documentary photography, so I still practice that quite a bit. And I say practice because I'm still learning the process. And so that's important to me. I still make really bad photographs, but I still occasionally make good ones. And hopefully some of those images that I've made will have their own kind of legacy. And my students who are out there getting jobs or working hard to get jobs are also part of that legacy as a teacher. I come from a family of teachers, so it's sort of in my DNA.
This one I was at, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, you see pattern. Pattern is sort of that.
That looks like an awesome program. Capturing great footage has really taken this world by storm, Mark.
Yeah, it's shown the world to innovate and study different methods and styles of everything.
On the topic of styles, our field correspondent Torean Smith may have more to share with us about the printing services resource at MATC's downtown campus. Torean, what's the pressing issue down there?
Thanks, James. As I mentioned before, we are here at the downtown MATC campus in building at the printing service department. And I am here with Dana Cooper Davis, who is a technician here.
Yes.
How you doing today, Dana?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
Nice. So could you tell me a little bit about your role here?
So I'm a pre-press technician, and what I do is I prepare files for print, making sure everything is okay to go, in addition to creating files, in addition to doing large format printing, digital output routing, you name it, we do it, from laser engraving to embroidery to printing.
Nice. So we're here right next to like this big press. Could you tell me what's all printed here?
Yeah, we do things like the MATC Times newspaper, which you see here is a plate from the Times. We do program cards, large forms, you name it, we print it.
Nice. So you all don't just do like printing, you also do printing for like clothing as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about that and the embroidery?
Sure, we do embroidery for faculty, staff, we do t-shirts. Like today we just did t-shirts for an Earth Day program that was held at Walker Square. So there's always a need for us to do something, and we're ready on the spot.
Nice. So we're currently passing this like large signs here. Could you tell me a little bit more about what this machine does?
I can. This is our zoomed. It's our digital router and cutter. It can cut shapes. It can cut stickers. It can cut through wood, metal, glass, acrylic. It's a lifesaver.
Right. So, man, it's just so awesome to see all of this stuff here.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure you guys are going to be ramping up here with graduation coming up.
Absolutely.
So what all do you guys print for that?
We do the commencement program itself. We do the diplomas once the students have been conferred for graduation. Any scripts that are needed for graduation. All the smaller programs that have like pinning ceremonies and things leading up to graduation, honors. We do those as well.
Oh, wow. So we're coming up on this huge machine here. Could you tell me a little bit more about this machine and what it does?
Sure. This is our Annapurner. It's our large format printer. Prints up to 8 feet wide, infinite in length. It does roll and substrates up to 1 inch thick, foam board, vinyl banner, cotton flags, you name it. And we just got done printing for a student project that's ramping up for portfolio night. So we have a student who wanted to test the colors of her print. She's a photography student, and this is the kind of thing that we do.
Nice. So Who comes up with all the designs and everything?
So sometimes it's led by the customer, sometimes we do it. So it just kind of depends on what the need is, but we do have an in-house design and marketing team that we print a lot for.
Nice. So I just want to look at this machine a little bit more. Like, do you guys print like big signs off of here as well?
We do. We print signs such as this guy that we just printed last weekend for the senior MATC signing day. If we would have been here just about 20 seconds earlier, I could have printed another board. If you have time, I can flip one over and let you see. Otherwise,
well, unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day.
Sure.
Here. So, looking more to learn more about printing services, and it's back to you in the studio, James.
Thanks, Torean. Who knew that printing services provided custom t-shirts, designing, and embroidering too? Well, now, if you're in search of creative outlets, MATC has a plethora of programs and opportunities, and it's cool to see what other schools have to offer. Student producers Torean Smith and Mariah Schultz visit the Carpentry program to capture some of the hands-on opportunities we talked about earlier. But first, student producer Miranda McCulley takes us on a television director's journey with Adam Lilley.
So currently I'm a director-producer. I direct all the studio portions of the local shows, 1036, Adelante, Black Nouveau, the Arts Page, and I'm also a producer. I produce the Arts Page with Sandy Max, and I also produce our Pledge Drive. Take two, cue. What is directing? And I guess to sum it up into like one easy phrase, you're just calling the shots. Literally calling the shots. Like, so you have upward, 1 to 3 cameras, sometimes even more than that, and you just had to kind of direct them, tell them what you want, how to frame the shot, where to go next, that type of thing. And then you're telling your TD to take those cameras, ready 1, take 1, ready 2, take 2. Hey everyone, I'm Adam Lilley. I'm the producer of the Arts Page on Milwaukee PBS. Producing is a lot more legwork. You have to research your topics, research your interviewees. You have to find stories, get in contact with them, set up dates, set up crews, decide which cameras to take, decide which car to take. There's a lot that goes into producing. Right out of college, I started producing. I did a number of different things. I guess the main one would be my next door neighbor at the time was running this like Christian youth gathering event type thing, and he was looking for someone to produce videos for him. I saw this director-producer job open up here, and I applied immediately. I just had to do it because it's sort of homecoming for me because I was a student here. But I guess I really started producing in full when I got here to Milwaukee PBS. One of the benefits of the job is every day is different. You're not punching the clock and doing the same thing over and over again. They wanted to bring back, the Arts Page was on hiatus due to COVID-19. So they wanted to bring it back, and they had just hired me, and they said, here, do the Arts Page. And I said, yeah, absolutely, because I love Sandy Max. She's a gem. She's so easy to work with. She's so nice.
Wait till you see what we have coming up next.
I think my favorite thing about producing is meeting new people and going to new places. Especially with producing the Arts Page. Artists do what they do because they are in love with the world, and it really shows through their work.
Step into the world of carpentry at Milwaukee Area Technical College. Whether you're at the Oak Creek campus or the Walker Square Education Center, classes are in session.
We kind of go from the basics, like when you first come in, we make sure everybody knows how to read a tape measure. They know what tools are, they get experience with the different tools, hand tools, power tools, so that we can get everybody on the same page, and then we can start getting into more detailed stuff from there. So if you don't know anything with this, we get everybody to start at the same pace.
I was supposed to come for like an HVAC one, and when I found out that Carpentry actually does the framing and stuff like that, the stuff I like, I'm like, okay, I want to try this one. tried the program out, ended up liking the program. Met a lot of new people, friends and stuff. The teacher just brought me in like family. Everything was perfect.
Gain the skills needed for success in residential and commercial construction. Learn to read blueprints, handle materials, and master fundamental techniques.
I think MATC is different from other programs because, you go to those bigger colleges, they're essays, like big lectures, and it's just nothing but homework, homework, homework. We actually get the hands-on experience in this course, like every single day. We're doing this, we're doing that. It's book work, but it's minimal. It's more so you're gonna learn how to do this, and you're gonna learn how to do it this way. You're gonna learn how to do it with this, with that. You're gonna learn how to do this. So I think it's more of the hands-on. Like, we don't have to say we go through college and then we graduate, we have to go through the apprenticeship. It's not like we're going in like blindsided. We're going in with a little bit of experience from this course.
Safety practices and sustainable building techniques have been a major focus, and I feel confident in entering the field.
They might make a mistake on something that we do, and then they learn from that mistake, and they're like, hey, I did it this time. You get to see the students make a mistake and then improve from that. I'd like to see them like 5 years down the line and see what they've actually done for their careers. A lot of times when you come out of here, you're not just getting a job, you're going into a career. If you don't like this, you can always go to cabinet making, you can always go into commercial. There's a bunch of different areas to go to.
We started building a house, and we started last semester. We just basically built the floor framing, we did the ceiling, and then the outside of the house. And now this semester, we actually doing all the interior work and exterior work, just getting everything done to the house, the finishing work, making sure the house look actually up to date or just, ready to move into.
With a constant demand for skilled carpenters, MATC graduates have a bright future. Become a carpenter, carpenter apprentice, finished carpenter, form carpenter, or rough carpenter.
Students are always trying to figure out what it is they like and want to do, and exploring their options is always a start. The many programs and collaborations at MATC can help with that. And to talk about this, we're joined by State Representative and MATC alum, Supreme Moore Omokunde. Representative, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. Happy Earth Day.
Absolutely.
It's always a pleasure to be on an award-winning show like this.
All right, thank you. We're talking about education and access to programs. How important is it that community members have access to a variety of programs and educational resources?
It's really important, especially in a community like Milwaukee. You have so many different types of people that live here, and you have so many different backgrounds and areas of need. And it's great to have a place like MATC that can offer people an opportunity to explore a lot of that diversity that we have here.
All right.
Representative, how can students become active members of their own communities?
I think it's part of the rent that you pay for being here on Earth, being active in your community. When I think about things like climate change and preventing climate change, achieving climate justice, and pushing back against unfair housing, et cetera, it's always been some young people at the front lines of some of those activities, those actions. And so I would encourage them to continue to be involved in the things that they're interested in. And some of the things that you're learning here at MATC may help to fuel some of that activism as well.
Right. Now, in your role up at the State House in Madison, what are some of the activities you're involved in, some of the committees or so forth, relating to education and helping get community members better access to educational resources?
Well, I am on the Energy and Utilities Committee. I'm on the Transportation Committee. I'm on the Committee on Regulatory Licensing and Reform, which if you study here, you have to get a license in certain places, like if you're an architect or you're an interior designer or you're a therapist, you have to get a license through the Department of Safety and Professional Services. I'm on that committee, and I'm also on the Mental Health and Substance Use Disorder Prevention Committee as well. And many of the things we do have a lot to do with what students are learning here at MATC. And also, we do provide about 30% of the funding for the college here. So if you ever want to know where your money's coming from, it's always good to take a trip up to Madison and make sure that you're holding folks accountable for what they say they want to do for the students here in the state of Wisconsin, especially at the technical college level.
Representative, you sound like a busy man. What does local education provide for a city like Milwaukee?
Well, I think it's really important when we talk about local education. We talk about grade school level, high school level, and tech college level, et cetera. One, you have a diverse group of people. And it's not only about diversity, it's about making sure that we're dealing with anti-oppression as well. Making sure that people feel comfortable, they feel seen, and they feel welcome in their education systems. And also to make sure that the funding is coming. We just had a referendum not too long ago where we were asking people to, raise property taxes so we can support our local schools. But a lot of that money comes from Madison. We have a $7 billion+ surplus. Where's that money coming from? We had a party in Madison that I'm not a member of say that the only way you can get more money for schools is by going to referendum. We need to make sure that our schools are properly funded so that people can be properly educated. So when they move on to places like MATC, they're continuing their education that they learned from that smaller level.
Mm-hmm. Now, before you were at the State House level, you once walked these halls. How has your experience here as an MATC student once upon a time helped you in your current role?
Well, there are so many things that I learned being here at MATC. I think the interaction with other students, people being passionate about what they were going to do, if they were going to be going to barber and cosmetology school, if they were going to study carpentry, if they were going to, study automotive, things of that nature. It was really the passion that people had for their education. And also the opportunities it gave people. Some people wanted to go to four-year colleges, and this was a great place to start their career there.
Right. And
they were able to say, I'm going to do my first 2 years at an institution that's not going to cost me a lot of money, so I can get that in, and then I can move on to my four-year college.
Right, right, and here you are serving us still, with that original education that you gained here at MATC. We want to thank you for joining us today and sharing with us your experiences, your insights on education.
Oh, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm really proud of this institution and the work they're doing in the city of Milwaukee and in this region of the state.
Absolutely. Well, now we've got a special guest in our kitchen next door, and I don't know if I'll have mushroom for dessert. Chef Leslie, what are you making over there?
Hey, thanks. It's Earth Day, and I'll be preparing stuffed mushrooms for our enjoyment. So stuffed mushrooms are an appetizer consistent of cheeses and mushrooms of your choice. They can be made in everything from the microwave to crock pots, and today we'll be making them in the oven. So for our ingredients, I've gathered 12 ounces of mushrooms, 4 ounces of room temperature cream cheese, spray avocado oil, 1/4 cup of Swiss, 1/4 cup of sharp cheddar, 1/8 teaspoon of onion, turmeric, red pepper, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, half teaspoon of cilantro, 1 teaspoon of garlic, and mustard seeds, and an optional 1/8 teaspoon of bacon pieces or chives. So be sure to also have an oven, a cheese grater, medium bowl, a large bowl, teaspoon, a wet towel, and bacon sheets. So stuffed mushrooms started being served in the 1950s as a delicacy and often used as an expensive ingredient. To get started, I'll preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit and grab a tray. So it's best to add oil to the bacon sheet so you don't want your mushrooms to just get stuck. I think that's pretty good. So avocado oil has a very neutral taste to it, meaning it can go well with sweet or savory dishes. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab some of my mushrooms and start washing them a little. See if I can get bigger ones for this. So go ahead and grab this rag real quick. And what you're gonna wanna do is basically try to scrape any of the dark pieces. So this is what you wanna do quickly. And if it all doesn't get out, you're fine. So I have one there. And you wanna gently scrape them because we don't want our mushrooms to break off. So you can see that's all the dirty part. We do not want that. I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and start taking out the stem of my mushroom. So you just wanna pull it off and it should leave you with a little dent inside. And what you can do with your stems is set them aside in a bowl and save for a different recipe. Go ahead and place that there, and I'm gonna do another one. Stem right there. if I can pop this one well. That's pretty good. That's what you want to have. So I'm going to set these mushrooms aside and start with my cream cheese base. So I have some cream cheese right here, and I'm going to add it to the bowl. And then this is where you're going to use most of your seasoning. So as you can see, I put the cheese and the seasoning in the same bowl, and now I'm going to mix all my ingredients thoroughly. Cannot say that word for some reason. Okay, you want to take your spoon and start smashing it and try mixing them as best as you can. This will take time if your cream cheese is still a little hard, but you can always try your best. Okay, well, now this is going to take me a while, but fortunately I have some already made, so I'm going to set this aside right here. And then once you stop mixing, it should look something like this. Look at that. A nice yellow color, full of fun seasoning, all your best seasoning. So with this, you're going to take a small spoon and start putting them in your mushrooms. Take just a little amount, and if it's still too hard, you can just use your hand. It should look something like this. That looks so good. I'm gonna add a little bit more. We'll do the same for all three. Look at that. Perfect. And you can add as much as you want. So. Okay, as you can see, I have them in the tray, and now we're gonna pop them in the oven at 350 for 25 minutes until they're golden brown. So, thankfully, we actually don't have to wait a lot because I have some already made, and they should look something like this. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that beautiful? So I'm gonna go ahead and take a small bite out of one. Wow, that is really good. And this is very optional, but you can add some chives like I said at the beginning. But thank you for joining today's cooking section, and happy Earth Day. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Chef Leslie. Those look delicious. You could make dozens for a group.
Well, indeed they do, Mark. And speaking of a group, student producer Ivan Aguila-Garcia explores an international brotherhood group in Milwaukee, right over here at Marquette University.
Sigma Lambda Beta, or the Marquette Betas, was founded on April 4th, 1986, but founded on May 15th, 1998, here at Marquette. A fraternity full of bros who help welcome culture and diversity together.
So the Marquette Betas are a multicultural fraternity on campus. We serve to bring and bridge different communities around campus, whether it be from the Latino, Asian, white population. We come from different backgrounds, and we try to bridge them all together and unite as one.
These brothers make it their mission to help out the community in Marquette come together and make sure their message is spread around campus.
So we all come from different backgrounds, different outlooks of life, and we have different perspectives on how we want Marquette to change as a campus and a community. So Sigma Lambda Beta taught us that we can do anything that our minds can just do. So we try to do events that are to bring everybody feel welcome from different outlooks, because Marquette University, people come from different parts of the world, and not everybody has the same experience as us, and we try to make everybody feel comfortable and at home as best of our abilities.
We have 4 pillars, but it's community service, culture awareness, brotherhood, and scholarship. Those 4 pillars is what we embrace on the daily. Of course, all of them mean different things, but the one that we like to embrace the most is cultural awareness, especially at PWI at Marquette University. We know that there's not that much diverse culture here, so we want to show different cultures, different backgrounds, so that people know about every single culture. I mean, we put on some events to put up like the Hispanic culture, African American culture, and all stuff like that. We want to bring more diversity to the campus, so that's a little bit about our backgrounds and what we stand for here at Marquette campus.
The Marquette Betas host many events, and one in particular helps highlight the importance of Hispanic culture.
We hold an event called Fiesta de Noche every year, It's basically a celebration of Hispanic heritage. And we do culture shows, food, and just dancing. And basically one night to celebrate the roots that we all come from the Hispanic culture.
Go out to events, get to know those certain fraternities that you want to join or are interested in. A lot of people don't want to reach out to those fraternities because they're shy, but I highly encourage that you reach out because most of the members in those organizations have similar stories, similar backgrounds, not the same like backgrounds I'm saying, but like they could relate to you on a one-on-one basis. And sometimes they're willing to help you out. They're willing to give you a guiding hand because they could be mentors to you as well at whatever university you are. Personally, here at Marquette University, I looked up to some of the brothers that are part of our organization, and they helped me out in doing what I want to do in the future. They helped me with the guiding hand and what to do. So I highly encourage you reach out to bros or anyone that you think is part of an organization for a helping hand, because they're more than likely to help and more likely to teach you about their organization.
These bros definitely make you feel like family and are sure to lend you a helping hand. And to anyone who isn't familiar with Greek life, then the Marquette Betas are definitely a group to check out.
It's wonderful to see all types of resources, extracurriculars, and events that help unify a college. Now it's a good time to check in with James to see what he has for MATC Minute.
Today is Earth Day. MATC is holding an Earth Week Urban Agricultural and Green Industry Coalition event on Friday, April 26th from 9 a.m. until noon at the downtown campus in room M605. Students participating in spring commencement can pick up their cap, gown, and tassel May 6th to the 16th at the MATC bookstore on any campus. Just be sure you bring your school ID or state ID. Whether you missed your high school prom or want to relive the magic, the Black Student Union invites you to MATC's Adult Prom on Saturday, May 4th from 7 to 10 p.m. Tickets are $15 for the first 100 buyers and $30 after. Students are encouraged to come and connect with people across the college and explore program offerings during MATC's open house on Thursday, April 25th from 4 to 7 p.m. at the downtown campus. Meet your Spanish-speaking colleagues and practice your Spanish Tuesdays and Wednesdays from noon until 12:45 at MATC's downtown campus cafeteria. Bring your own lunch and we'll meet you at the flags.
Thanks, James, for the updates on this semester. If we're talking about exploration, I think student producer John Weimer has a whirlwind of sciencey fun awaiting us. Let's check it out. This week's GEMKE.
Hello, I'm student producer John Weimer, and this is another hidden GEMKE. I'm here at American Science and Surplus, the most useful, wacky, and underrated place in all of Milwaukee. Let's check it out. American Science and Surplus has every mundane daily essential that you will ever need, such as giant suction cups and this pickaxe.
Ooh, I've always needed a ballista. You won't find this at Target. Yes, I've been looking everywhere for unicorn poop.
There's so many knickknacks to look at that I've been here for 6 hours. I haven't even left this aisle. Oh, a pizza protector.
They have super affordable prices. Can't wait to wear these to school. I know what I'm getting my mom for Christmas.
Come on down and get lost. I'm student producer John Weimer, and this has been another hidden GEMKE.
All right, what a place for activity and wonder, just like your education should be. Now, before we close the show, I want to thank my co-host and my guest for joining us today. Gentlemen, thanks for taking time out of your schedules.
You're entirely welcome. Glad to be here.
All right. And thanks to all of you for tuning in for another episode of MATC Now. I'm your host, James Charles. Stay curious out there.